I don't think there will be the end point because you talk about different things. There's always something new to like improve.
In one of my street interviews in Malaga, I ran into a man who said he had no limiting beliefs. He was just a chill guy working on improving his life. But then he told me, I don't think there's ever an end point. There's always something to improve on. And I think if you're an analytical man who's highly motivated, this can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's allowing you to be motivated and disciplined to create the life that you want. But on the other hand, it creates a very hidden rule in your life. And that rule is I'm not allowed to relax until I reach my end point. So in this video, I'm going to show you how that trap can be damaging for your life and the 3 questions you can ask yourself to liberate yourself from that trap so you're still moving towards the life that you want, but you're not delaying an emotion like relaxation, happiness, or joy until you reach your end point.
I always want to get a little bit better. And then once I get to like where I want to be, I'll be like chill. On one hand, you're saying, well, there's always more to be done. And then on the other hand, you're saying, oh, when I get to this place, I can finally chill and be happy. It's like chill physique. That's the goal. Once you got it, you got it. And then you got to maintain it. You don't have to be perfect. You can try to be like better, have a good life, and then like preserve yourself as well. And then you're healthier, and then you will have a happier life. Okay. It's just like you're more active, and you don't just be a lazy sod.
What I love about this conversation is you can clearly tell Mr. R, the guy in this conversation, is someone who wants to live his ideal life. He's motivated. In his own words, he doesn't just want to be a lazy sod, right? And I think that's a great mindset to have when you're at a point where you have things to build in your life. You want to build a successful career, you want to get in shape, you want to find an ideal relationship. But at some point you have an experience where you realize, wait, my life is pretty good on paper, but it's not like happiness or relaxation magically just arrived. I had that moment in my life when I was 22 years old and I was living in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. I had my own place by the beach. I would literally wake up to the sound of the ocean. I was traveling with 2 of my best friends and I had just made $9.5 thousand in my business that was around relationships and social freedom. So I had time freedom, I had financial freedom, I had great friends, and I had social freedom. I was able to go speak to people that I was interested in and make friends wherever I went in the world. At the same time, having all of this obviously was much better than a time where I was living in a 2-bedroom, 5-person apartment. I wasn't making any money since I was finishing up college and trying to just start my own business. Obviously, life was better. But at the same time, I realized, wait, even though life is better, I'm still not giving myself the permission to relax. I'm not giving myself the permission to slow down, to enjoy life, to be happy. And that's when I realized happiness was never something out there to search for. And if I want to feel more relaxed, if I want to have a calm baseline where I can rely on myself and build a peaceful and capable mind, I need to prioritize that relationship with myself first. There's never going to be an external thing that will immediately bring me that emotion. Of course, there will be things that I will achieve that will improve my life. But if I want to build peace, if I want to build calm, I need to put in conscious effort as I'm working towards my goals to actually build a relationship with that state and bring it into my life. The reason I'm telling you this is you might have an amazing life on paper where people look at you and go, wow, I would love to have the life that you have. But you might still be feeling anxious, feeling self-doubt, feeling stressed with all the responsibilities that you have, or feeling like, man, I got to the place I wanted, but I don't know where to go next because I don't want to be a monk to be peaceful, or I don't want to chase millions to find happiness there and just be a hustler on Miami. You might say, hey, all I want is a balanced life where I'm working towards something that I find meaningful, and in that process, I'm happy, I'm joyful, and everything is working out well. So if you're that kind of guy, here is what I would recommend you to do next. Pay attention to this part of the conversation.
I think it's good to have a perspective of continuously getting better, right? But at the same time, you don't want to trick yourself into thinking, once I am better, that's when happiness and relaxation and unlocked. I'm not saying for you, I'm saying in general. And I think, in a sense, it depends on what your definition of better is, right? Because sometimes we feel like, oh, if I'm faster, that's better. Or if I shoot the ball with higher, ratio, that's better.
But
So it's like, what would you define as better? I think it's about finding that, knowing why that's the definition you're working with. Because sometimes we also want to get better, but we absorb ideas from other people, and those ideas become our idea of the life that we want to live.
but
So instead of putting energy to that, if you can realize what is my idea and what were ideas I took away from other people, from my mom, my dad, my culture, then you can put more energy to bettering the life that you want for yourself.
If that idea resonates with you and you want to create a holistic definition of better, that not only means I make a lot of money or I have tons of friendships or I have a very successful social circles, but that includes connection with people that you care about, that includes impact with a career that you actually enjoy, then here are the 3 questions I would recommend for you to ask yourself. First, write down better in this area of my life means ... Do this for your career, your relationships, and your health. Then read that definition and ask yourself, is that missing anything? Is there anything that this definition does not account for? The second step is underline every part of that definition that came from your parents, that came from your culture, that came from your friends growing up, that you no longer agree with. The third step is look at all that's left. That is the part that you genuinely care about. So if you focus on that definition of a better life, what you will create is the life that you actually want for yourself. Now, from here, what I would recommend for you to do is for the next 7 days, just focus on working with that definition of better in your life. And look at the states, the emotions that leads to. If those emotions create states like peace, confidence, and you have more sustainability to work towards your ideal life, that means this reflection worked for you and it's leading you towards more of the life that you want. If you want to build a life where you can allow yourself to relax while working towards your goals, where you can allow yourself to feel happy while knowing there's more to be done, I built a 7-day system and put it into my free data-driven healing playbook that allows you to regulate your nervous system, debug false belief, and track and gamify the process of building a capable and peaceful mind. If you want that, the link is in the description. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you for the next one.